It has been 50 years since an emperor described by many as the father of Africa was overthrown by security forces known as the Dutch in a creeping coup. His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I was hailed around the world as a hero against fascist forces, but unbeknown to many is that the popular sovereign spent many years campaigning against Italian dictator Benito Mussolini from his West Country home in Bath between 1936 to 1940. University of the West of England professor Sean Naphtali Sobers has been sharing the story of the emperor's exile in England in a new program for the BBC World Service. The Ethiopian leader arrived in London's Paddington station to crowd huge crowds. However, his passionate speeches against Mussolini, who had invaded Emperor Selassie's home country, were an embarrassment to the UK government, which were seen as keeping Mussolini coursing. So you see, between 1936 to 1940, this leader in Italy then invaded Ethiopia. And I can bet you that some of us Africans, we don't even know this story. So when some of us said we were civilized before we were invaded, we are talking out of facts. Yes, that is the truth. We are not just making it up. Emperor Selassie was ordered to go out of the provinces, so he soon settled in Bath. All of his family and staff moved to Fairfield House and quickly became the talk of the city. Despite how noticeable they had been, the emperor had become ingrained in the community, said Prof. Sobers. He was really a people person. He said his Prince Emperor Selassie had once refused to skip the queue for Western Super Mario's trooping resort. The professor, a trustee of Emperor Selassie's home house, said the ruler had not wanted to leave his country after the Italian dictator had invaded. But he realized the Ethiopians, with their spears, just wouldn't be able to combat that force. So he had to come to the West, basically to rally for liberation, Professor Sobers added. Emperor Selassie addressed the League of Nations, the precursor of United Nations, and gave a very passionate speech saying essentially that if it is us today, it will be you tomorrow, continued Professor Sobers. He said that point the UK had been keeping Mussolini. When the emperor originally came to England, the crowds came out at Paddington Station. He was really popular and he was basically an embarrassment to the British government, Professor Sobers said. He was told to keep his head down and go out to the provinces. One of the reasons the emperor chose Bath was to have access to the city's healing waters, to treat the mustard gas bombs on his hands and arms from the chemical warfare being used in Ethiopia. So you see, as of then, this dictator in Italy was even using mustard gas to attack Ethiopia. And up to today, nobody has raised this issue at international stage, what this Italian dictator did in Ethiopia from 1936 to 1940. So that is to show you that some of these organizations in the West are just made or created to prove African leaders who stand up against them. Because if you even remember what happened in Rwanda, up till now, no leader in the government of Jacques Chirac then has been brought to book or have been invited to ICC to answer to what happened or the part they played in Rwanda. So Africans, we have to learn from all these things. So this is just one of the proofs that we have been civilized before the invaders invaded our continent, to then turn around